Hello, dear friends. I just thought I'd chat with you for a little bit. Anybody that this could help or encourage. I'm sure it won't be for everybody, but it's just about those times that are so hard in our lives. Whether it is with a spouse, whether it's with a family member that you're going through a hard time with. Um, my dad lived with me for a long time, about 9 years, and he had drank all his life and had gotten to a point where it was affecting his health. He couldn't work anymore, and he was in his 50s. And I took him into my house thinking that he would be out of my house a lot quicker than he was. I never thought that 9 years would pass by before he was able to get back on his own. Um, there's just times in our life that can be unbearable or feel like we're getting crushed, you know? It might be the loss of a job or a loss of a loved one. I know when I lost my grandma, I felt like I went into the deepest depression because she was the one that was there for me. She didn't judge me, you know? She always had something positive and kind to say to me, even if I'd messed up. And, or, there's been times having teenagers, you know, and young adult children that can worry you to death, the things and choices they might make. And so many hard times, so many things like that. When my husband lost his vision, that just rocked our world, turned it upside down. It just went. He was working full time and had a good job to nothing. Couldn't see, can't drive. It was sad, it just broke my heart. Learning how to walk around with him and his cane and us not walk all over each other and telling him when every little step and curbs coming that he needs to step up on and this and that. Him not being able to watch our kids play ball. They've always played ball, some sort of sport, and I always sat in the bleachers and talked to my friends or people around me, and he always kept the stats and watched every move they made. He could tell me all about it. And then, I had to call the game to him, and I wasn't a very good commentator, but I've gotten better. So just so many hard times. And somebody, watching might be going through a hard time right now. Um, but during all these years of walking with the Lord, those hard times when things seemed the darkest, hopeless, didn't know if I was ever going to make it out of a situation. There was a time way back, where my husband left me. Things going on that wasn't right, that had to do with lies and deception and all this kind of stuff. That was one of the hardest times of my life, and I thought I was going to die. I had to beg the Lord to give me another breath that I could pull into my lungs because I just felt like I couldn't. And I would just drive and think, if I could just pull into this church parking lot, maybe I could find you, Lord. I was trying to escape the pain that was in my gut because the Lord seemed so far away. And many times as we're going through those hard times, He is silent. Or He's speaking and teaching us. We just don't recognize it. And you know how they say hindsight's 20/20? I found that to be true. But nothing you could walk through, nothing that comes to your life has caught the Lord by surprise. He knows all about it. And those deep, dark places of hell I've walked through, what seemed like hell, nobody else could reach me there but the Lord. Nobody could pray me out of that mood or that place I was in, throw all these scriptures at me. It did not help. I appreciated it and everything, but it just didn't do it. I had to find the Lord in those places. And He is with us in those hard times. If anybody's in a hard time like that, I just encourage you, continue searching for Him. And I would say, Lord, I can't find you. Where are you? Why are you being so quiet? Why won't you show me something? Why won't you give me some understanding about what this is I'm going through and why I must endure this and how am I to bear this? Help me, Lord. How many times I've cried out to Him like that. My faith was being tested. I would say, Lord, I can't take much more. I feel like I'm going to give up. I can't do this. I can't keep going like this. But what was I going to give up to? I had done come too far with the Lord. You imagine it. Walking, taking the Lord's hand and just walking, and you get so far out there and you look back to who you used to be and where you used to be, and you say, well, I'm not her anymore. But you look ahead. You look at Christ and how perfect He is, how wonderful. Or you look ahead to who you want to be in the Lord, more kind, more humble, all these things. And you say, well, I'm not that person. And you just have to walk through times like that where things don't make sense. We don't understand. But the Lord is with us through those times. He really is. He is so faithful. He will not break a promise. Sometimes we don't have enough faith to believe Him for some of the promises we find in the Scriptures. But through these hard times, when nothing makes sense, we feel like we're being broken all to pieces and we're not going to make it, He is there. I found that every time. It took a lot of waiting on Him. I felt like I was failing Him. Maybe I was struggling with something that I was doing wrong in a way that I didn't want to be. Calling out to the Lord to help me with it, to help me overcome this, to not be like this anymore. I had to wait on Him and learn how to trust in Him with all my heart. That all my hope would be placed in Him rather than what hope I had in my husband or depending on my husband or my life being centered and around a certain person. That if that person left this world, I'd be finished, like maybe my grandma or maybe one of my children. The Lord was removing my dependence off of anything in this world, only onto Him. And I still go through times like that. Matter of fact, I haven't been on here in a few days because I'm going through one of those times. Dealing with a hard thing. And I just keep seeking the Lord. Lord, what do you want me to learn from this? Please show me quickly. I can't take much more of it. I'm so down and out, Lord. Nothing makes sense. I feel broken. I don't have any joy right now. Y'all, that does happen. Don't let anybody fool you into thinking that you walk along with the Lord as some sort of everything goes right. Everything's just beautiful all the time. Everything makes sense all the time. That's not how it is. We do have those times. And He strengthens and encourages us. There's times when He'll let us feel His presence. We'll know without a shadow of a doubt that He's with us and that everything's going to be all right. And I am where I'm supposed to be. But many times we have to walk by faith. That our trust will grow, our ability to endure and persevere with the Lord will mature. But we learn more about Him in these times. How faithful He is, how sure He is, how He's always there. When nobody else can understand, He is there, and He understands. And He cares about me and loves me more than a husband ever could. Anything. It's not to say that we don't value those relationships and enjoy them and thankful to the Lord for what, He gifts our life with, but there is no one like Him. There's not. And when you learn that most is in the hard times. I bet some of you know what I'm talking about. So, like I said, I've been walking through a few days of not understanding, not knowing what's going on, feeling like I've just done so wrong or messed up, but I'm exactly where He wants me to be. He's leading and guiding me. He keeps my steps and my feet sure. He's the one doing it. He said He started the good work in us and He will finish it. He'll see it through. And He never breaks promise. So just thought I'd share that little bit. Hope it might encourage someone. Just keep seeking Him. Keep leaning on Him. Keep placing your trust in Him. He will never let you down. Though sometimes it seems like all hell's breaking loose around you, He is there. He's in charge. He's in control. He knows what He's doing. Trust the process. So, I hope y'all have a good weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.